From the moment Elon Musk stepped onto the stage with that enigmatic glint in his eye, something in the air changed. The audience, accustomed to seeing cell phone launches that merely repeated the past with new packaging, sensed that this time there was something different. The auditorium fell silent as the lights dimmed, and a three-dimensional image of a smartphone began to float above the stage. The Tesla Pi phone was born, an artifact that promised to rewrite the rules of personal technology. It wasn't just a new product, it was the manifesto of a new digital age, where control returned to the user's hands. The first thing that caught the eye wasn't the design, although it was a sculpture of liquid metal, almost alive under the light, but the philosophy. Elon Musk wasn't talking about megapixels, processors, or benchmarks. He was talking about freedom. In a world dominated by companies that spy on every touch and every breath, the Tesla Pi phone emerged as a fortress, a digital refuge. Its 384-bit encryption, resistant even to future quantum attacks, sounded like something out of science fiction. But what seemed like fiction was beginning to become reality before the astonished eyes of the audience. On stage, the phone slowly rotated, reflecting the light like a jewel. The audience saw a smartphone, but Elon was describing something deeper, an extension of the human mind, free from surveillance. Every bit of information processed locally, without intermediary servers, without invasive clouds, without invisible eyes. The device not only stored data, it guarded it faithfully, like a sealed vault that only the owner could open. The promise of real privacy ceased to be advertising rhetoric and became a challenge launched to the largest technology corporations on the planet. When Musk unveiled the total control panel, the audience reacted with a collective murmur. It was the first time a user could view every trace of generated data and decide whether to delete, hide, or completely destroy it across all synchronized devices. The simple gesture of pressing a button to clean data became a symbol of power. For the first time, privacy didn't depend on trust in third parties, but on an inviolable code that obeyed only its possessor. The Tesla Pi phone didn't ask for permission. It restored autonomy. But the public didn't yet know that the real shock would come from inside the device. While eyes tried to absorb the minimalist curves and the sturdy metallic body, a new layer of mystery was revealed. The Tesla Pi phone wasn't just a communication machine. It was a health guardian. Infrared and ultrasonic sensors hidden beneath the glass surface monitored hydration, stress, oxygenation, and even micro-variations in pulse rate. The phone listened to the human body, interpreted its signals, and suggested preventative actions without ever sending anything to the cloud. Everything happened inside the device itself, protected, silent, and private. The idea seemed straight out of a futuristic novel, a phone that took care of you without invading your privacy. Live demonstrations showed the device detecting signs of mental fatigue in real time, adjusting screen brightness, altering the notification rhythm, and even suggesting short breathing breaks. The audience reacted with astonishment. It wasn't just technology, it was empathy in silicon. The fusion between machine and human was gaining new meaning. The Pi phone transformed the concept of a personal device into something almost organic. As the lights danced across the stage, Musk revealed another secret: the AI creativity engine, a system that transformed voice, drawing, and thought into art. By sketching any shape on the screen, the artificial intelligence interpreted, refined, and transformed the sketch into a digital painting or 3D sculpture. By humming a melody, the system created a complete composition with instruments, rhythm, and harmony. And most surprisingly, the Muse mode recorded each stage of creation, allowing the process to be revisited, as if the artist could go back in time to understand their own inspiration. Art ceased to be the privilege of the few and became a universal language. The impact was immediate. Influencers, designers, and musicians began sharing videos showcasing creations made on the Pi phone that looked like the work of entire studios. The device became a bridge between imagination and reality, without the need for complex software or powerful computers. It was the birth of a new digital culture, free creators, without technical barriers, without algorithms determining what was relevant. Each user became a living studio, a creative galaxy pulsating in their pocket. But the revolution wasn't limited to the artistic field. The Tesla Pi phone redefined the very concept of connectivity. Integration with the Starlink network eliminated dependence on antennas and towers. The entire world became a coverage zone. In deserts, mountains, or the middle of the ocean, the phone remained connected. The promise of global internet, once a distant dream, now fit in the palm of your hand. In emergency situations, simply pointing the device at the sky was enough to establish a connection with the satellites in seconds. In an increasingly unstable world, this autonomy meant more than convenience. It was survival. Elon Musk spoke with an almost prophetic calm, describing the Pi phone as a human mission companion, a device designed not only for entertainment, but to endure, care, create, and protect. Its metallic structure and reinforced screen withstood extreme temperatures, drops, and even mild electric shocks. The battery, powered by adaptive aluminum cells, lasted for days without recharging. And when the energy finally ran out, a few minutes of sunlight was enough to restore the essentials. It was a perfect symbiosis between efficiency and sustainability. The audience, mesmerized, barely blinked. Many realized they were witnessing something that transcended the boundaries of conventional gadgets. The Tesla Pi phone wasn't trying to compete with iPhones or Androids. It was making them obsolete. While competitors boasted about cameras or foldable screens, Tesla spoke of digital sovereignty, energy autonomy, and quantum self-defense. The discourse sounded like the manifesto of a civilization tired of being watched, ready to reclaim the right to its own shadow. Behind the scenes, Tesla engineers commented that each Pi phone was an isolated fortress. Instead of relying on central servers, the system operated in a decentralized manner, making mass attacks virtually impossible. If it detected an attempted intrusion, the phone activated a containment mode, sealing off access, blocking sensors, and even issuing alerts to nearby devices. It was as if the device had a self-preservation instinct, a digital survival reflex. The press didn't know how to react. Some called the Pi phone the most paranoid smartphone ever made. Others described it as the first truly human phone. But there was a consensus. Nothing like it had ever been seen before. Tesla had taken the concept of personal security to a new level. Every detail, from the chip to the software layer, was designed to serve the user, and only the user. What was once a luxury was now becoming an ethical issue. In the following days, social media exploded. Videos of people testing the health monitoring device began to go viral. Users reported that the phone had identified signs of dehydration, changes in sleep patterns, and even hints of anxiety, all processed locally without anything being sent to the internet. Doctors and researchers began to debate the implications of this. A phone capable of taking care of you without monitoring you. It was a contradiction that fascinated the scientific world. In online forums, amateur artists published compositions made with the AI creativity engine. Some created music using only the sound of their voice. Others painted entire pictures with simple gestures. The most curious thing was the common feeling that arose among the users. Liberation. For the first time, technology wasn't using them. They were using technology. This silent inversion was at the heart of Tesla's philosophy. Meanwhile, in remote regions of the planet, the impact of Starlink connectivity was beginning to be felt. Isolated communities in Africa and Asia were able to send messages, study, and even start businesses using only the Pi phone. No towers, no traditional networks, just the sky. The device became a symbol of technological hope, a messenger from the stars that broke down invisible barriers. With each update, the XOS system evolved, but without relying on central servers. Improvements were distributed in an encrypted way, without tracking. Musk described this as technological self-evolution. The phone learned from usage, adapted to the owner's style, and eliminated redundant tasks, all without ever compromising privacy. It was as if the Pi phone were a smart mirror, reflecting who you were, not who the world wanted you to be. But what was truly impressive was the serenity with which the device functioned. No ads, no interruptions, no data collection. The absence of digital noise created a strange sense of peace. Users reported that for the first time in years, they felt the phone belonged to them, and not the other way around. This almost spiritual simplicity became the greatest luxury of the modern age. Tesla hadn't just created a smartphone, it had created a symbol, a silent resistance against the empire of data, a reminder that technology can protect instead of exploit. The Pi phone became the voice of a new generation that no longer accepts being a product. Instead of selling privacy, it delivered it. And little by little, this idea began to spread. Smaller companies adopted the ethical model proposed by Tesla, abandoning data collection and focusing on trust. The industry was slowly shifting its axis. For the first time, profit came not from espionage, but from loyalty, and it all started with a phone that dared to say no. The cultural impact was immense. Films, books, and debates began to emerge inspired by the concept of the Pi phone. The device became a symbol of a digital renaissance. In universities, students studied its decentralized architecture as a reference for autonomous systems. Hackers tried to break it, but without success. Each attempt only reinforced its reputation for invincibility. Over time, the Pi phone ceased to be an elite product and became accessible. Its price dropped, its versions multiplied, and the original idea, to give power back to the individual, became a silent revolution. It didn't matter if someone lived in an ultra-technological city or a remote village. The whole world began to reconnect under new rules. Human rules. Today, looking at a Tesla Pi phone is like looking at the future materialized. A future where every touch is a choice, not surveillance. A future where creativity is free and health is protected. A future where the internet ceases to be a territory of exploitation and becomes a space of balance. And perhaps that is Elon Musk's greatest legacy, reminding humanity that technology only makes sense when it brings us closer to our own essence. The Tesla Pi phone is not just a technical advancement. It's a philosophical statement. In every detail, it affirms that humanity should be at the center of innovation, not its product. With impenetrable privacy, integrated health, liberating creativity, and universal connectivity, the Pi phone redefines the role of technology in civilization. It marks the beginning of a new chapter, one in which the future is no longer about control, but about trust. If you want to continue exploring this universe where technology and humanity meet, subscribe to the channel now. Join the community that follows every step of this revolution, because the future has already begun, and it fits in the palm of your hand. When the first users received the Tesla Pi phone at home, it felt like opening an artifact from the future. The minimalist packaging, wrapped in matte black with the Tesla logo embossed on it, emitted a subtle glow when touched by light. Inside, the device rested like a silent jewel, awaiting its first contact. Upon turning it on, the interface displayed not logos or endless loading screens, but a simple luminous pulse, like a heartbeat. It was a symbol of the fusion between man and machine, a reminder that technology could have a soul. The first touch on the screen was almost hypnotic. The glass reacted to skin temperature, adapting contrast and brightness in real time. The XOS system, developed internally by Tesla, seemed more like an organism than software. Every movement was fluid, natural, as if the device understood intentions even before commands. The feeling of absolute control, without noise, without ads, without tracking, provoked something rare: trust. It was like being alone in a digital world where no one else could enter. Soon, curious stories began to emerge. A doctor reported that the Pi phone alerted him to signs of exhaustion before he even realized it. An artist discovered that Muse Mode had recorded an unconscious drawing made at 3 in the morning, transforming it into an award-winning digital sculpture. A truck driver, stuck in a blizzard, managed to communicate via Starlink when no other device had a signal. Small stories multiplied, creating a mythology around the device. The Pi phone ceased to be a product. It became a companion. In a rare interview, Elon Musk said something that stuck in the minds of millions. Technology should protect dreams, not police them. This phrase spread across social media, painted on murals, quoted in podcasts, and transformed into an anthem by digital creators. For the first time, a technological product carried a genuine emotional message. It wasn't just about performance, but about digital dignity, and that touched something deep within people. Competing companies tried to react. Some rushed to promise privacy, others created emotional campaigns. But the public perceived the difference. While the giants tried to appear human, Tesla had built a product that was already human. Sales skyrocketed, not because of advertising, but because of word of mouth. The Pi phone became a cultural phenomenon, even before dominating the market. Over time, security experts began calling it the portable fortress. Extreme tests attempted to break its 384-bit encryption, without success. Renowned hackers admitted that Tesla's decentralized system was virtually impenetrable. The resistance came not only from the code, but from the ethical design of the architecture itself. It was a phone made to be trusted, and that became its most powerful weapon. The medical industry quickly recognized the potential of the Pi phone's sensor technology. Clinics integrated the device into patient screening and monitoring systems. Within a few months, the phone had already saved lives by detecting early signs of severe dehydration and anxiety attacks. What was once a personal tool was transformed into a comprehensive health assistant, and all this while upholding the oath of privacy. In art schools, the AI creativity engine became an essential tool. Teachers taught composition, design, and music based on human-AI interaction. Young people who had never drawn before discovered hidden talents. People with motor disabilities began to create using only their voices. The creative world flourished, not through competition, but through collaboration. The machine ceased to replace the human, it began to enhance it. Meanwhile, in places where the internet was a distant luxury, the Pi phone connected entire villages. Communities used the device to study, sell products, and share knowledge. The starry sky became the bridge between minds, separated by thousands of kilometers. Musk called this a silent revolution, and indeed it was. The first truly global network, built not by governments or corporations, but by free people. Today, holding a Tesla Pi phone, many feel something that had long since disappeared from their relationship with technology: hope. The future, which seemed distant, now vibrates between their fingers. And with each new version, the device becomes more human, more sensitive, more aware of the role it plays in humanity's collective journey. And if you believe that technology can be more than a cold reflection of algorithms, if you believe it can inspire, heal, and liberate, then subscribe to the channel now. Here, we explore not just the products, but the ideas that are shaping tomorrow. The future is being born before our eyes, and the Tesla Pi phone is just the beginning.